Welcome to Game Nights with JR. I'm JR, and I'm here to walk you through the feature games for October. Again, the feature games are the ones that are going to be set up and ready to play when you walk into any of our game night events coming this October. And I'm really excited because our very first game night ever was a Halloween weekend last year. And so several of these games are games that were featured at that game night only. And I know that most of you were not part of Game Nights with JR yet. So most of these games will be pretty new to you. And I love it because, of course, since it's October, they're spooky themed. So let's not wait any longer. Let's dive into what you can look forward to playing at Game Nights with JR this October. First up is a very weird little game called Zombie Circus Goats. It is a little bit gross, a lot of funny, and it plays like, an Uno or an Exploding Kittens or a Kill the Unicorns, like any of those little simple card games that are really more about the art and the flavor text on the cards than they are about like deep strategy. In this game, you are collecting various actors to be part of your circus troupe, and the first person to get 5 goats into their troupe wins. Of course, the problem is the goats don't actually give you any bonuses. So if you start collecting goats early, you're going to have a really hard time finishing out your troupe, and you're not going to be competitive when everyone else starts playing their pretty ruthless cards on you. This game plays fast. Again, it's very silly and a little bit gross the way Halloween probably should be. So if you're looking for a good warm-up game, or if you just don't want to think too hard on a game night, Zombie Circus Goats is going to be the game for you. Next up is a brand new game called Spooktacular. This was one of the buzzy games at Gen Con this year, and when I found out it was horror movie themed, I had to get it. Spooktacular basically makes fun of all of those old classic B horror movies where the monster was some kind of silly thing with ridiculous powers, and they were, of course, always chasing teenagers. So everyone is a different movie monster. I think there's like 20 or something to choose from, and they all have completely different powers. So this is an asymmetrical game. You're all in the same manor house where there are a bunch of guests, and you are trying to spook them or devour them. Essentially, there's lots of different ways to generate points in this game, and you're trying to get the most points. Again, this game plays pretty quickly. Even though the monsters are all asymmetrical, they don't take very long to learn. It takes maybe a turn or two to figure out the particular magic to make your monster score points, and then it's just a matter of managing your hand well, competing with the other monsters, and trying to get ahead and stay ahead. So there's a good little bit of player interaction in this one. The different monsters are creative and fun. It doesn't feel like, oh, that's just a Freddy Krueger analog, that's just a Michael Myers analog, that's just Ghostface in a white robe or something like that. They're actually kind of unique and new, so it adds a lot of fun in that way as well. And the different monsters have different difficulty levels. So if you're looking for like an easy warm-up game, you can grab one of the easy monsters, and if you've played it a couple times and are looking for a bigger challenge, you can beef yourself up quite a bit. So yeah, Spooktacular is really fun for as simple of a game as it is. It's a lot easier to learn than it looks like at first, and it really scratches that spooky itch. So I definitely think you want to get your hands on this one at our game nights in October. Next up, I think probably one of the spookiest games I own, and that is the Night Cage. The Night Cage is a cooperative game. It plays up to 5, I think, though I usually play it at 3 or 4. And each person is trapped in the same never-ending dungeon, and the only thing you have is a candle. So every turn you're revealing a new tile and moving to a new tile and trying to find the key that will unlock the dungeon gate and get you out. The problem is, as soon as you leave a room, your candle stops illuminating it and the dungeon shifts its position. So what that mechanically means is you're actually removing tiles as you go, and then if you go back the way you came, the room, the trap, the monster, and the keys will have disappeared. So you really have to sort of figure out how to solve this puzzle together, because you don't win unless every single person has a key and makes it to the gate and everyone escapes together. There are monsters in the dungeon, and they're pretty scary. They are pretty difficult to avoid, though not impossible to avoid. And the way damage works in this thing is really interesting too. So it doesn't give you a lot of leeway to mess up, though you can't actually die. You just, stay trapped in eternal darkness forever. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Spooky party games are harder to come by, and that's why I love Phantom Inc. This is a relatively new game. It's only been out for a couple of years, but it is really fun because each team has a person who takes on the role of the ghostwriter, and you are trying to get your team to guess a clue one letter at a time. Of course, the other team is trying to do the same thing as well, and so you want to be able to get your team to guess your clue before the other team can guess theirs or can guess yours. So this is a simple game. It's one of those kind of like code names where if you love being the code giver, you're going to get lots of opportunities to do that. And if you just want to play and you don't want the stress of being the person who's carrying the team, then you can just be part of the crowd shouting nonsensical answers. Phantom Inc. is great. It's, again, super easy to set up, super easy to learn, and super easy to play. And so if you like word games, if you like thinking on your feet, if you like party games, this is another really fun one. Last but not least is one of my favorite spooky board games. It is called Monster Slaughter, and as you can see, it truly is monstrous. In fact, this game box becomes a cabin in the woods. It is the game board, or game box, I guess. It's the game box that you play as a game board. Anyway, you each play as a different family of monsters. So you might be vampires, or aliens, or mummies, or the gremlins, or werewolves, or whatever. And each player is a different family of monsters, and of course you're all trying to kill the college kids who came to the woods to party that weekend. That's right, this is basically a Cabin in the Woods, the board game. What's really fun about it is the deck is fully customizable. So if I play as the vampires, then that means there are going to be objects added into the deck like wooden stakes and garlic and crosses and holy water. If there are werewolves in the game, there's going to be silver bullets and things like that, right? And so as you start the game, you have to predict the order in which the college kids are going to die. And it's really easy. It's the homecoming queen, the jock, the nerd, like all, again, Cabin in the Woods, right? It's all the stereotypes. So you predict the order they're going to die in, and then you compete over to see who can kill them first and in the right order. So if I thought the jock was going to die third and the vampires are coming in to kill him, I might toss out a wooden stake for him to find to chase off the vampires. It plays pretty quickly once you figure out the mechanics. This is probably the crunchiest, the heaviest of the games that I'm bringing, but it's not too terribly difficult, and the miniatures are gorgeous. Playing in the box itself is a really cool experience, and there's so much player interaction and backstabbing and all of that it really is a delightful, fun game, perfect for spooky season. Okay, there you have it. Those are the feature games for October. I want to thank all of our Patreons who support us monthly and make videos like this possible. Of course, you got to see this early. And I also want to remind you that the tickets for 48 Hours of Board Games, which happens next month, are on sale right now. And if you're watching this early enough, you might still have an ability to get in on early bird pricing. We would love to have you there. All of these games, plus close to 300 more, are going to be there. And you just get to play board games with all your friends for 48 hours. What more could you want? Thanks again for watching. Cannot wait to see you at our October game nights. And if you need a list of where those are, you can check that in the description below. In the meantime, in the comments, I'd love to hear what you're most excited to play or what your favorite spooky game is. Maybe it's one that's not on here. We need to hunt it down. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at game night soon.